a good deal of time during CDC weekend talking about a whole range of issues and talking about what the future holds, not just for the African American community, but for the United States of America. I've been spending some time thinking about that too. And at this time of great challenge, one source of inspiration is the story behind the founding of the Congressional Black Caucus. I want us to all take a moment and remember what was happening 40 years ago when 13 black members of Congress decided to come together and form this caucus. It was 1969. More than a decade had passed since the Supreme Court decided Brown versus Board of Education. It had been years since Selma and Montgomery, since Dr. King had told America of his dream. All of it culminating in the passage of the Civil Rights Act and the Voting Rights Act. The founders of this caucus look back and feel pride in the progress that had been made. They could feel confident that America was finally moving in the right direction. But they knew they couldn't afford to rest on their laurels. They couldn't be complacent. There were still too many inequalities to be eliminated, too many injustices to be overturned, too many wrongs to be right. That's why the CDC was formed, to right wrongs, to be the conscience of the Congress. And the very first CDC dinner, the great actor and activist, Ossie Davis, told the audience America was at a crossroads. And although his speech was magnificent and eloquent, he boiled his message down to a nice little phrase when it came to how America would move forward. He said, "It's not the man, it's the plan." It's not the man, it's the plan. That was true 40 years ago. It is true today. We all understood that during my campaign. This wasn't just about electing a black president. It was about a plan to rescue our economy and rebuild it on a new foundation. Statistics just came out this week. From 2001 to 2009, the income of middle-class families in this country went down 5%. Think about that. People's incomes during that period, when the economy was growing, went down 5%. That's what our agenda was about, making sure that we were changing that gap. It was about giving every hardworking American a chance to join a growing and vibrant middle class and giving people ladders and steps to success. It was about putting the American dream within the reach of all Americans, not just some. No matter who you are, no matter what you look like, no matter where you come from, everybody would have access to the American dream. I don't have to tell you, we're not there yet. This historic recession, the worst since the Great Depression, has taken a devastating toll on all sectors of our economy. It's hit Americans of all races and all regions and all walks of life. But as has been true often in our history, as has been true in other recessions, This one came down with a particular vengeance on the African American community. It added to problems that a lot of neighborhoods had been facing long before the storm of this recession. Long before this recession, there were black men and women throughout our cities and towns who'd given up looking for a job. Kids standing around on the courts without any prospects for the future. Long before this recession, there were blocks full of shuttered stores that hadn't been opened in generations. So yes, this recession made matters much worse, but the African American community has been struggling for quite some time. It's been a decade in which progress has stalled. And we know that repairing the damage, climbing our way out of this recession, we understand it will take time. It's not going to happen overnight. But what I want to say to all of you tonight is that we've begun the hard work of moving this country forward. We are moving in the right direction. When I took office, our economy was on the brink of collapse. So we acted immediately, and the CBC acted immediately. We took steps to stop the financial meltdown and our economic freefall, and now our economy is growing again.